Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session of TES Reading Club.
Good afternoon,
All of you
everyone.
know, wait. I'm just waiting for people to join. As all of you know, TES Reading Club has been doing excellent work in the past few months and probably a year. We are going to have an anniversary celebration soon. And what happens here is students and scholars from all over the country get together to read the classics. We have read over 10 classics by now. And a lot of people from YouTube have been supporting us, joining us. And it is going wonderfully well. People are enjoying reading together the classics. It is an amazing experience to do collaborative reading. You get to know the style of the authors, the characters very deeply. And it promotes a great understanding and appreciation of literature. We are greatly indebted to all the supporters from YouTube, all the enthusiasts who have been collaborating with us and supporting us in this venture. So welcome to this reading session of Harold Pinter's Birthday Party, Act 1. As you might know already, Harold Pinter is a very major playwright from British literature. He's associated with the theatre of the absurd and comedy of menace. Harold Pinter's plays are unique for their use of silence and menacing situations and characters. It is Medhavi Ritu who is leading the reading program today. I invite you, Medhavi, to start the session and share your experience of being with TES Reading Club. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And sorry for interrupting earlier. I was a little too excited to share my experience with everyone. So, hello, everyone. I'm Asst Medhavi, and I've been a member of TES Reading Club. And I must say, I'm really blessed to be a member of this wonderful club where all the students and enthusiasts come together and read out classical works. As a teacher, ma'am always says it's extremely important to read primary sources, the original text. But we all must agree that either we don't get enough time or sometimes the circumstances are not that cordial for us to read out the original text. But taking part in this club and reading out one act every Sunday, or perhaps a poem or any sort of excerpts or everything, it has really helped me a lot. I do feel that I have got in touch with the authors and I have known their styles and how they write. It has been such an amazing experience. So if you are someone who really wants to read original text, but you don't get enough time, this is the right place for you. You can join along and it will be such an amazing activity to read along with us. So I really hope that you'll all come forward. You can also listen to us on YouTube. If you wish to read along, you can join TES Reading Club on Telegram. That's it, ma'am. Angeline is our narrator for today.
So shall I start?
Yes, please.
Act 1. The living room of a house in a seaside town. A door leading to the hall down left. Back door and small windows up left. Kitchen hatch center back. Kitchen door up right. Table and chairs center. Patty enters from the door on the left with a paper and sits at the table. He begins to read. Meg's voice comes through the kitchen hatch.
Is that you, Betty?
Pause.
Betty, is that you?
Pause.
Betty,
What?
is that you?
Yes, it's me.
What?
Her face appears at the hatch.
Are you back?
Yes.
I've got your cornflakes ready.
She disappears and reappears.
Here is your cornflakes.
He rises and takes the plate from her, sits at the table, props up the paper, and begins to eat. Meg enters by the kitchen door.
Are they nice?
Very nice.
I thought they would be nice.
She sits at the table.
You got your paper?
Yes.
Is it good?
Not bad.
What does it say?
Nothing much.
You read me out some nice books yesterday.
Yes, well, I haven't finished this one yet.
Will you tell me when you come to something good?
Yes.
Pause.
Have you been working hard this morning?
No. Just stacked a few of the old chairs, cleaned up a bit.
Is it nice out?
Very nice.
Pause.
Is Stanley up yet?
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know. I haven't seen him down yet.
Well, then, he can't be up.
Haven't you seen him down?
I have only just come in.
He must be still asleep.
She looks around the room, stands, goes to the sideboard and takes a pair of socks from a drawer, collects wool and a needle and goes back to the table.
What time did you go out this morning, Betty?
Same time as usual.
Was it dark?
No, it was light.
Meg beginning to dawn.
But sometimes you go out in the morning and it's dark.
That's in the winter.
Oh, in winter.
Yes, it gets light later in winter.
Oh,
Pause.
what are you reading?
Someone's just had a baby.
Oh, they haven't. Who?
Some girl.
Who? Betty, who?
I don't think you would know her.
What's her name?
Lady Mary Splat.
I don't know her.
No.
What is it?
Patty studying the paper.
Yeah, a girl.
Not a boy?
No.
Oh, what a shame. I'd be sorry. I'd much rather have a little boy.
A little girl's all right.
I'd much rather have a little boy.
Pause.
I have finished my cornflakes.
Were they nice?
Very nice.
I've got something else for you.
Good.
She rises, takes his plate and exits into the kitchen. She then appears at the hatch with 2 pieces of fried bread on a plate.
Here you are, Petty.
He rises, collects the plate, looks at it, sits at the table. Meg re-enters.
Is it nice?
I haven't tasted it yet.
I bet you don't know what it is.
Yes, I do.
What is it then?
Fried bread.
That's right.
He begins to eat. She watches him eat.
Very nice.
I knew it was.
Patty, turning to her,
Oh, Meg, 2 men came up to me on the beach last night.
2 men?
turning to her,
Yes. They wanted to know if we could put them up for a couple of nights.
Put them up? Here?
Yes,
How many men?
2.
What did you say?
Well, I said I didn't know. So they said they would come round to find out.
Are they coming?
Well, they said they would.
Have they heard about us, Betty?
They must have done.
Yes, they must have done. They must have heard this was a very good boarding house. It is. This house is on the list.
It is.
I know it is.
They might turn up today. Can you do it?
Oh, I've got that lovely room they can have.
You have got a room ready?
I've got the room with the armchair all ready for visitors.
You are sure?
Yes, that would be all right then, if they come today.
Good.
she takes the socks, etc., back to the sideboard drawer.
I'm going to wake that boy.
There's a new show coming to the palace.
On the fire?
No, the palace in the town.
Stanley could have been in it. It was on the pyre.
This is a straight show.
What do you mean?
No dancing or singing.
What do they do then?
They just talk.
Oh,
Pause.
oh,
You like the song, yeah, Meg?
I like listening to the piano. I used to like watching Stanley play on the piano. Of course, he didn't sing.
Looking at the door,
I'm going to call that boy.
Didn't you take him up his cup of tea?
I always take him up his cup of tea, but that was a long time ago.
Did he drink it?
I made him. I stood there till the bed. I'm going to call him.
she goes to the door.
Stanny.
She listens.
Stan, I'm coming up to fetch you if you don't come down. I'm coming up. I'm going to count 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm coming to get you.
She exits and goes upstairs in a moment, shouts from Stanley, Wild laughter from Meg. Patty takes his plate to the hatch, shouts laughter. Patty sits at the table. Silence. She returns.
He is coming down.
She is panting and arranges her hair.
I told him if he didn't hurry up, he would get no breakfast.
That did it, yeah?
I'll get his cornflakes.
Meg exits to the kitchen. Patty reads the paper. Stanley enters. He is unshaven in his pajama jacket and wears glasses. He sits at the table.
Morning, Stanley.
Morning.
Silence. Meg enters with the bowl of cornflakes, which she sets on the table.
So he has come down at last, has he? He has come down at last for his breakfast. But he doesn't deserve any, does he, Betty?
Stanley stares at the cornflakes.
Did you sleep well?
I didn't sleep at all.
You didn't sleep at all. Did you hear that, Betty? Too tired to eat your breakfast, I suppose. Now, you eat up those cornflakes like a good boy. Go on.
He begins to eat.
What is it like out today?
Very nice.
Warm?
Well, there's a good breeze blowing.
Cold?
No, I wouldn't say it was cold.
What are the cornflakes like, Stan?
Horrible.
Those flakes? Those lovely flakes? You are a liar, a little liar. They are refreshing. It is so. It says so. For people when they get a plate.
The milk soft?
It's not. Betty ate his. Didn't you, Betty?
That's right.
There you are then.
All right. I will go on to the second course.
He hasn't finished the first course and he wants to go on to the second course.
I feel like something cooked.
Well, I'm not going to give it to you.
Give it to him.
Meg, sitting at the table, right.
I'm not going to.
Pause,
No breakfast.
pause.
All night long. I have been dreaming about this breakfast. I thought
You said you didn't sleep.
daydreaming all night long, and now she won't give me any, not even a crust of bread on the table.
Pause.
Well, I can see I will have to go down to one of those smart hotels on the front.
Meg, rising quickly.
You won't get a
You
better
are-
breakfast there than here.
She exits to the kitchen. Stanley yawns broadly. Meg appears at the hatch with a plate.
Here you are. You will like this.
Patty rises, collects the plate, brings it to the table, puts it in front of Stanley, and sits.
What is this?
Fried bread.
Meg entering.
Well,
I bet you.
You
I-
don't know what
Well,
it
I
is?
bet.
Oh, yes, I do.
What?
Fried bread.
He knew.
What a wonderful surprise.
You didn't expect that, did you?
I bloody well didn't.
Patty rising.
Well, I'm off.
You're going back to work.
Yes.
Your tea. You haven't had your tea?
That's all right. No time now.
I've got it made inside.
No, never mind. See you later. Tata, Stan.
Ta-da.
Patty exits left.
What do you
Meg
mean?
defensively.
What do you mean?
Meg defensively.
You are a bad wife.
I'm not. Who said I am?
Not to make your husband a cup of tea? Terrible.
He knows I am not a bad wife.
Giving him sour milk instead?
It wasn't so.
Disgraceful.
You mind your own business anyway.
Stanley eats.
You won't find many better wives than me, I can tell you. I keep a very nice house and I keep it clean.
Oh,
Yes, and this house is very well known for a very good boarding house for visitors.
visitors? Do you know how many visitors you have had since I have been here?
How many?
One.
Who?
Me. I am your visitor.
You are a liar. This house is on the list.
I bet it is.
I know it is.
He pushes his plate away and picks up the paper.
Was it nice?
What?
The fried bread?
Succulent.
You shouldn't say that word.
What word?
That word you said.
What? Succulent?
Don't say it.
What's the matter with it?
You shouldn't say that word to a married woman.
Is that a fact?
Yes?
Well, I never knew that.
Well, it's true.
Who told you that?
Never mind.
Well, if I can't say it to a married woman, who can I say it to?
You're bad.
What about some tea?
Do you want some tea?
Stanley reads the paper.
Say please.
Please.
Say sorry first.
Sorry first.
No, just sorry.
Just sorry.
You deserve the strap.
Don't do that.
She takes his plate and ruffles his hair as she passes. Stanley exclaims and throws her arm away. She goes into the kitchen. He rubs his eyes under his glasses and picks up the paper. She enters.
I bought the pot in.
Stanley absently.
I don't know what I had do without you.
You don't deserve it though.
Why not?
Meg pouring the tea coyly.
Go on, calling me that?
How long has that tea been in the pot?
It's good tea. Good strong tea.
This isn't tea, it's gravy.
It's not.
Get out of it, you succulent old washing bag.
I'm not. And it isn't your place to tell me if I am.
And it isn't your place to come into a man's bedroom and wake him up.
Stanny, don't you like your cup of tea this morning? The one I bring you?
I can't drink this mug. Didn't anyone ever tell you to warm the pot at least?
That is good strong tea. That's all.
Stanley putting his head in his hands.
Oh God, I'm tired.
Silence. Meg goes to the sideboard, collects a duster and vaguely dusts the room. Watching him, she comes to the table and dusts it.
Not the bloody table.
Pause.
Stan?
What?
Meg shyly.
Am I really succulent?
Oh, you are. Would rather have you than a cold in the nose any day.
You're just saying that.
Stanley violently.
Look, why don't you get this place cleared up? It's a pigsty. And another thing, what about my room? It needs sweeping. It needs peppering. I need a new room.
Meg
Oh,
sensual,
Stan.
stroking his arm.
Oh, Stan. That is a lovely room. I have had some lovely afternoons in that room.
He recoils from her hand in disgust, stands and exits quickly by the door on the left. She collects his cup and the teapot and takes them to the hatch shelf. The street door slams. Stanley returns.
Is the sun shining?
He crosses to the window, takes a cigarette and matches from his pajama jacket and lights his cigarette.
What are you smoking?
A cigarette.
Are you going to give me one?
No,
I like cigarettes.
He stands at the window smoking. She crosses behind him and tickles the back of his neck.
Tickle.
Stanley pushing her.
get away from me.
Are you going out?
Not with you.
But I'm going shopping in a minute.
Go.
You will be lonely all by yourself
Will I?
without your old Meg. I have got to get things in for the two gentlemen.
A pause. Stanley slowly raises his head. He speaks without turning.
What? Two gentlemen?
I'm expecting visitors.
He turns.
What?
You didn't know that, did you?
What are you talking about?
Two gentlemen asked Betty if they could come and stay for a couple of nights. I'm expecting them.
She picks up the duster and begins to wipe the cloth on the table.
I don't believe it.
It's true.
Stanley moving to her.
You are saying it on purpose?
Betty told me this morning.
Stanley grinding his cigarette.
When was this? When did he see them?
Last night?
Who are they?
I don't know.
Didn't he tell you their names?
No.
Stanley pacing the room.
Here? They wanted to come here?
Yes, they did.
She takes the curlers out of her hair.
Why?
This house is on the list.
But who are they?
You will see them when they come.
Stanley decisively.
They won't come.
Why not?
Stanley quickly.
I tell you, they won't come. Why didn't they come last night if they were coming?
Perhaps they couldn't find the place in the dark. It is not easy to find in the dark.
They won't come. Someone's taking the Michael. Forget all about it. It's a false alarm, a fake alarm.
He sits at the table.
Where is my tea?
I took it away. You didn't want it.
What do you mean? You took it away?
I took it away.
What did you take it away for?
You didn't want it.
Who said I didn't want it?
You did.
Who gave you the right to take away my tea?
You wouldn't drink it.
Stanley stares at her. Stanley quietly.
Who do you think you are talking to?
Meg uncertainly.
What?
Come here.
What do you mean?
Come over here.
No.
I want to ask you something.
Meg fidgets nervously. She does not go to him.
Come on.
Pause.
All right. I can ask it from here just as well.
Deliberately.
Tell me, Mrs. Bowles, when you address yourself to me, do you ever ask yourself who exactly you are talking to? Huh?
Silence. He groans. His trunk falls up forward. His head falls into his hands. Meg in a small voice.
Didn't you enjoy your breakfast, Stan?
She approaches the table.
Stan, when are you going to play the piano again?
Stanley grunts.
Like you used to.
Stanley grunts.
I used to watching you play the piano. When you are going to play it again?
I can't. Can I?
Why not?
I haven't got a piano. Have I?
No, I meant like when you were working. That piano?
Go and do your shopping.
But you wouldn't have to go away if you got a job, would you? You could play the piano on the pier.
He looks at her, then speaks airily.
I have been offered a job. As a matter of fact,
What?
yes, I'm considering a job at the moment.
You're not?
A good one too. A nightclub in Berlin.
Berlin?
Berlin, a nightclub playing the piano, a fabulous salary, and all found.
How long for?
We don't stay in Berlin, then we go to Athens.
How long for?
Yes, then we pay a flying visit to, what is the name?
Where?
Constantinople, Zagreb, Vladivostok. It's around the world tour.
Meg, sitting at the table,
Have you played the piano in those places before?
Have you played the piano in those places before?
Played the piano? I have played the piano all over the world, all over the country.
pause,
I once gave a concert.
A concert?
Stanley reflectively,
Yes, it was a good one too. They were all there that night. Every single one of them. It was a great success. Yes, a concert at Lower End Mountain.
What did you wear?
Stanley to himself.
I had a unique touch, absolutely unique. They came up to me, and said they were grateful. Champagne we had that night, the lot.
Pause,
My father nearly came down to hear me. Well, I dropped him a card anyway, but I don't think he could make it. No, I lost the address. That was it.
pause.
Yes, Lower End Mountain. Then after that, you know what they did? They called me up. It was all arranged. It was all worked out. My next concert, somewhere else it was, in winter. I went down there to play. Then, when I got there, the hall was closed. The place was shuttered up. Not even a caretaker. They had locked it up.
Takes off his glasses and wipes them on his pajama jacket.
A fast one. They pulled a fast one. I had liked to know who was responsible for that.
Bitterly,
All right, Jack, I can take a tip. They want me to crawl down on my bended knees. Well, I can take a tip any day of the week.
he replaces his glasses, then looks at Meg.
Look at her. You are just an old piece of rock cake, aren't you?
He rises and leans across the table to her.
That's what you are, aren't you?
Don't you go away again, Stan. You stay here. You will be better off. You stay with your old Meg.
He groans and lies across the table.
Aren't you feeling well this morning, Stan? Did you pay a visit this morning?
He stiffens, then lifts himself slowly, turns to face her and speaks lightly, casually.
Meg, do you know what?
What?
Have you heard the latest?
No,
I will bet you have.
I haven't.
Shall I tell you?
What latest?
You haven't heard it?
No,
Stanley advancing.
They are coming today. They are coming in a van.
who?
And do you know what they have got in that van?
What?
They have got a wheelbarrow in that van.
Meg breathlessly.
They haven't.
Oh, yes, they have.
You are a liar.
Stanley advancing upon her.
A big wheelbarrow, and when the van stops, they wheel it out, and they wheel it up the garden path, and then they knock at the front door.
They don't.
They are looking for someone.
They're not.
They are looking for someone, a certain person.
Meg hoarsely.
No, they're not.
Shall I tell you who they are looking for?
No.
You don't want me to tell you?
You are a liar.
A sudden knock on the front door. Lulu's voice. Ooh, ooh. Meg edges past Stanley and collects her shopping bag. Meg goes out. Stanley sidles to the door and listens. Voice through letterbox.
Hello, Mrs. Bowles.
Oh, has it come?
Yes, it just come.
What? Is that it?
Yes, I thought I would bring it round.
Is it nice?
Very nice. What shall I do with it?
Well, I don't.
Whispers,
No, of course not.
whispers,
All right, but
whispers,
I won't.
whispers.
Tata, Mrs. Bowles.
Stanley quickly sits at the table. Enter Lulu.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
I just want to leave this in here.
do.
Eat this. Lulu crosses the sideboard and puts a solid round parcel upon it.
That's a bulky object.
You are not to touch it.
Why would I want to touch it?
Well, you are not. Anyway,
Lulu walks upstage.
why don't you open the door? It's all stuffy in here.
He opens the back door. Stanley rising.
Stuffy, I disinfected the place this morning.
Lulu at the door.
Oh, that's better.
I think it's going to rain today. What do you think?
I hope so. You could do with it.
Me? I was in the sea at 6:30.
Were you?
I went right out to the headland and back before breakfast. Don't you believe me?
She sits, takes out a compact and powders her nose. Lulu offering him the compact.
Do you want to have a look at your face?
Stanley withdraws from the table.
You could do with a shave. Do you know that?
Stanley sits right at the table.
Don't you ever go out?
He does not answer.
I mean, what do you do? Just sit around the house like the all day long. Hasn't Mrs. Bowles got enough to do without having you under her feet all day long?
I always stand on the table when she sweeps the floor.
Why don't you have a wash? You look terrible.
A wash wouldn't make any difference.
Come
Lulu
out and get a
rising.
bit of air. Come out and get a bit of air. You depress me, looking like that.
Here? Oh, I don't know about that.
It's lovely out, and I have got a few sandwiches.
What sort of sandwiches?
Cheese.
I'm a big eater, you know.
That's all right, but I am not hungry.
Stanley abruptly.
How would you like to go away with me?
Where?
Nowhere. Still, we could go.
But where could we go?
Nowhere. There is nowhere to go. So we could just go. I wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
We might as well stay here.
No, it's no good here.
Well, where else we there?
Nowhere.
Well, that's a charming proposal. Do you have to wear those glasses?
Yes.
So you are not to coming out for a walk?
I can't at the moment.
You are a bit of a washout, are you? Are you not?
He exits left. Stanley stands. He then goes to the mirror and looks in it. He goes into the kitchen, takes off his glasses, and begins to wash his face. A pause. Enter by the back door Goldberg and McCann. McCann carries two suitcases, Goldberg a briefcase. They halt inside the door, then walk downstage. Stanley, wiping his face, glimpses their bags through the hatch. Goldberg and McCann look round the room. Stanley slips on his glasses, sidles to the kitchen door, and out of the back door.
Is this it?
This is it.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure.
Pause.
What now?
Don't worry yourself, McCann. Take a seat.
What about you?
What about me?
Are you going to take a seat?
We will both take a seat.
McCann puts down the suitcase and sits at the table left.
Sit back, McCann. Relax. What's the matter with you? I bring you down for a few days to the seaside. Take a holiday. Do yourself a favor. Learn to relax, McCann, or you will never get anywhere.
Ah, sure. I do try, Nat.
Goldberg sitting at the table right.
The secret is breathing. Take my tip. It's a well-known fact. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a chance. Let yourself go. What can you lose? Look at me. When I was an apprentice yet, McCann, every second Friday of the month, my Uncle Barney used to take me to the seaside, regular as clockwork. Brighton, Canvey Islands, Rottingdean, Uncle Barney wasn't particular. After lunch on Shabbos, we would go and sit in a couple of deck chairs, the ones with canopies. We would have a little paddle, we would watch the tide coming in, going out, and the sun coming down. Golden days. Believe me, McCann.
Reminiscent.
Uncle Barney, of course, he was an impeccable dresser, one of the old school. He had a house just outside Basingstoke at that time, respected by the whole community. Culture? Don't talk to me about culture. He was an all round man. What do you mean? He was a cosmopolitan.
Hey, Nat.
Goldberg reflectively.
Yes, one of the old school.
Nat, how do we know this is the right house?
What?
How do we know this is the right house?
What makes you think it's the wrong house?
I didn't see a number on the gate.
I wasn't looking for a number.
No?
Goldberg settling in the armchair.
You know one thing, Uncle Barney taught me. Uncle Barney taught me that the word of a gentleman is enough. That's why when I had to go away on business, I never carried any money. One of my sons used to come with me. He used to carry a few coppers for a paper perhaps, to see how the MCC was getting on overseas. Otherwise, my name was good enough. Besides, I was very busy man.
What about this, Nat? Isn't it? What about a time someone came in?
McCann, what are you so nervous about? Pull yourself together. Everywhere you go these days, it's like a funeral.
That's true.
True, of course it's true. It's more than true. It's a fact.
You may be right.
What is it, McCann? You don't trust me like you did in the old days?
Sure, I trust you, Nat.
But why is it that before you do a job, you are all over the place, and when you're doing the job, you're as cool as a whistle?
I don't know, Nat. I'm just all right once I know what I'm doing. When I know what I'm doing, I'm all right.
Well, you do it very well.
Thank you, Nat.
You know what I said when this job came up? I mean, naturally, they approached me to take care of it. And you know who I asked for?
Who?
You.
That was very good of you, Nat.
No, it was nothing. You're a capable man, McCann.
That's a great compliment, Nat, coming from a man in your position.
Well, I have got a position. I won't deny it.
You certainly have.
I would never deny that I had a position.
And what a position.
It's not a thing I would deny.
Yes, it's true. You have done a lot for me. I appreciate it.
Say no more.
You have always been a true Christian.
In a way,
No, I just thought I'd tell you that I appreciate it.
it's unnecessary to recapitulate.
You are right there.
Quite unnecessary.
Pause. McCann leans forward.
Hey, Ned, just one thing.
What now?
This job. No, listen, this job. Is it going to be like anything we have ever done before? No, just tell me that. Just tell. Just that I won't ask anymore.
Goldberg sighs, stands, goes behind the table, ponders, looks at McCann, and then speaks in a quiet, fluent, official tone.
The main issue is a singular issue and quite distinct from your previous work. Certain elements, however, might well approximate in points of procedure to some of your other activities. All is dependent on the attitude of our subject. At all events, McCann, I can assure you that the assignment will be carried out and the mission accomplished with no excessive aggravation to you or myself. Satisfied?
Sure, thank you, Nat.
Meg enters left.
Ah, Mrs. Bowles,
Yes.
we spoke to your husband last night. Perhaps he mentioned us. We heard that you kindly let your rooms for gentlemen, so I brought my friend along with me. We were after a nice place, you understand? So we came to you. I am Mr. Goldberg, and this is Mr. McCann.
Very pleased to meet you.
They shake hands.
We are pleased to meet you too.
That's very nice.
You're right. How often do we meet someone? It's a pleasure to meet.
Never.
But today it's different. How are you keeping us? How are you keeping, Mrs. Bowles?
Oh, very well. Thank you.
Yes, really?
Oh, yes, really.
I'm glad.
Goldberg sits at the table right.
Well, so what do you say? You can manage to put us up, huh, Mrs. Bowles?
Well, it would have been easier last week.
It would, huh?
Yes,
Why? How many have you got here at the time?
just one at the moment.
Just one.
Yes, just one until you came.
And your husband, of course.
Yes, but he sleeps with me.
What does he do, your husband?
He's a deck chair attendant.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, he's out in all weathers.
She begins to take her purchases from her bag.
Of course. And your guest, is he a man
A man?
or a woman?
No, a man.
Been here long?
He's been here about a year now.
Oh, yes, a resident. What's his name?
Stanley Weber.
Oh, yes. Does he work here?
He used to work. He used to be a pianist in a concert party on the pier.
Oh, yes, on the pier, hey. Does he play nice piano?
Oh, lovely.
She sits at the table.
He once gave a concert.
Oh, where?
Meg falteringly.
In a big hall. His father gave him sampan, but then they locked the place up and he couldn't get out. The caretaker had gone home, so he had to wait until the morning before he could get out. They were
With confidence.
very grateful,
Pause.
and then they all wanted to give him a tip, and so he took the tip, and then he got a fast train and he came down here.
Really?
Oh yes, straight down.
Pause.
I wish he could have played tonight.
Why tonight?
It's his birthday today.
His birthday?
Yes, today.
Yes, today. But I'm not going to tell him until tonight.
Doesn't he know it's his birthday?
He hasn't mentioned it.
Goldberg thoughtfully.
Tell me, are you going to have a party?
A party?
Weren't you going to have one?
Meg, her eyes wide.
No.
Well, of course, you must have one.
He stands.
We will have a party. Hey, what do you say?
Oh, yes.
Sure, we will give him a party. Leave it to me.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Gold.
Berg,
Berg?
you like the idea?
Oh, I'm so glad you came today.
If we hadn't come today, we would have come tomorrow. Still, I'm glad we came today, just in time for his birthday.
I wanted to have a party, but you must have people for a party.
And now you have got McCann and me. McCann's the life and soul of any party.
What?
What do you think of that, McCann? There's a gentleman living here. He's got a birthday today, and he's forgotten all about it. So we are going to remind him. We are going to give him a party.
Oh, is that a fact?
Tonight.
Tonight.
I'll put on my party dress.
And I'll get some bottles.
And I'll invite Lulu this afternoon. Oh, this is going to cheer Stanley up. It will. He has been down in the dumps lately.
We will bring him out of himself.
I hope I look nice in my dress.
Madam, you will look like a tulip.
What color?
Well, I will have to see the dress first.
Could I go up to my room?
Oh, I have to put you both together. Don't you mind being together?
I don't mind. Do you mind, McCann?
No.
What time shall we have the party?
9 o'clock?
McCann at the door.
Is this the way?
Meg rising.
I'll show you. If you don't mind coming upstairs.
With the tulip? It's a pleasure.
Meg and Goldberg exit laughing, followed by McCann. Stanley appears at the window. He enters by the back door. He goes to the door on the left, opens it and listens. Silence. He walks to the table. He stands. He sits as Meg enters. She crosses and hangs her shopping bag on a hook. He lights a match and watches it burn.
Who is it?
The two gentlemen.
What? Two gentlemen?
The ones that were coming. I just took them to their room. They were thrilled with their room.
They have come.
They are very nice, Stan.
Why didn't they come last night?
They said the beds were wonderful.
Who are they?
Meg sitting.
They are very nice, Stanley.
I said, who are they?
I told you, the two gentlemen.
I didn't think they had come.
He rises and walks to the window.
They have. They were here when I came in.
What do they want here?
They want to stay.
How long for?
They didn't say.
Stanley turning.
But why here? Why not somewhere else?
This house is on the list.
Stanley coming down.
What are they called? What are their names?
Oh, Stanley, I can't remember.
They told you, didn't they? Or didn't they tell you?
Yes, they...
Then what are they? Come on, try to remember.
Why, Stan? Do you know them?
How do I know if I know them until I know their names?
Well, he told me, I remember.
Well,
She thinks.
Gold something.
gold something?
Yes, gold.
Yes.
Goldberg.
Goldberg?
That's right. That was one of them.
Stanley slowly sits at the table left.
Do you know them?
Stanley does not answer.
Stan, they won't wake you up, I promise. I'll tell them they must be quiet.
Stanley sits still.
They won't be here long, Stan. I'll still bring you up your early morning tea.
Stanley sits still.
You mustn't be sad today. It's your birthday.
A pause. Stanley dumbly.
Hmm?
It's your birthday, Stan. I was going to keep it a secret until tonight.
No.
It is. I've bought you a present.
She goes to the sideboard, picks up the parcel, and places it on the table in front of him.
Here, go on, open it.
What is this?
It's your present.
This isn't my birthday, Meg.
Of course it is. Open your present.
He stares at the parcel, slowly stands and opens it. He takes out a boy's drum. Stanley flatly.
It's a boy's drum.
Meg tenderly.
It was because you haven't got a piano.
He stares at her, then turns and walks towards the door left.
Aren't you going to give me a kiss?
He turns sharply and stops. He walks back towards her slowly. He stops at her chair, looking down upon her. Pause. His shoulders sag. He bends and kisses her on the cheek.
There are some sticks in there.
Stanley looks into the parcel. He takes out 2 drumsticks. He taps them together. He looks at her.
Shall I put it round my neck?
She watches him uncertainly. He hangs the drum around his neck, taps it gently with the sticks, then marches round the table, beating it regularly. Meg, pleased, watches him. Still beating it regularly, he begins to go round the table a second time. Halfway round, the beat becomes erratic, uncontrolled. Meg expresses dismay. He arrives at her chair, banging the drum. His face and the drum beat, now savage and possessed. Curtain falls, and end of Act 1.
Ma'am,
Hello, everyone. Medhavi,
yes, ma'am.
thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
It was a very major task that we did today. There are so many small details of the text that became very clear because we read it together. Isn't it? The small things related to the characters, to the situations. It is extremely important that we read all the classics like this. From next day, there are many people in YouTube eager to read with us. From the next day onwards, let us please share the screen from laptop, plan ahead and show the full screen text. So the text on full screen mode, because people would like to read with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much once again for this initiative and for the wonderful effort that you've put in. I'm so glad that we are doing this activity, which will help hundreds and thousands of people and motivate them to read and understand the text more. Thank you, each and every one of you, for this amazing session that we have every Sunday. Those who wish to join us, please drop a message. Medhavi and others, please reply to the messages also in the videos, and let more people join us. We periodically send in some gifts to people who volunteer. Your gifts are coming soon. People who have been reading in the past few months. So thank you. And we'll meet again next Sunday. Is there anybody who wishes to speak?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If not, we'll end the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.